Thank you, Joe. Thank you, Dawn. I am still blushing a bit. The good thing about being the last speaker is you have far less to say because everyone else has said it. And that is also probably the worst thing about being the last speaker is everyone else took your ideas. I think everyone has covered all the people who have been involved with this process, the hours that it has taken for us to move forward in this process. But we need to remember what this process is about. One, it's about the resource. And many of you have heard me say this time in and time out. 86,000 miles of streams, 4,000 lakes, approximately 80 trillion gallons of groundwater. Our 5 major basins connect us to 15 other states, and that equates to about 40% of the nation's population that is intertwined with Pennsylvania's waters. We have a toehold through the Yankee-Pennamite Wars on the Great Lakes system. The Great Lakes system, our 64 miles of shoreline, connect us to 95% of the country's fresh surface water, 20% of the world's fresh surface water. Our efforts is to sustain that water for the future. By 2025, National Geographic estimates that 2.7 billion people on the face of this planet will not have access to water, period. Period. That is in some of our careers, most of our lifetimes, we will see that. And if we look at the global economic pressures that we're dealing with oil, think about what it's going to be in less than 2 decades. Water. What can we live without? Water. We talked about papers and plans today. But really, as Dawn mentioned, as he did this host of folks who have been involved, this has been about people, this has been about progress, and most importantly, this is about our future prosperity in the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. We have been involved with this to lay this benchmark plan today, but it's only the beginning. It's only the beginning of our efforts to continue that agenda on protecting, sustaining, enhancing our water resources for the utilization of our future. And those of you who have heard me speak before, I will wrap with my famous Mark Twain story, and I apologize in advance for those of you who heard it time and time again. Mark Twain used to go throughout the country, and he was on a lecture series after the Civil War. And he would go and talk in forums much like this. And then he would go to an open mic session, if you will. And he would allow people to ask him questions. And he was once asked, "Mr. Twain, how do you compare your literary works to that of the great masters?" And Twain, in only a way that he could do, looked down for a moment, thought, reflected. He looked up and he said, "The works of the great literary masters are like that of a fine wine. My works are like water." Just remember, in the end, folks, we all need water. I want to thank each and every one of you for attending this morning. I want to thank those who have put their volunteer time to make this happen. I want to thank my staff who took on a different approach to work with people and take people's ideas first. They utilized what I've said. The good Lord gave us 2 ears and 1 mouth to listen twice as much as we speak, and I think we've done that. We've listened to what the citizens have said across this Commonwealth to lay a foundation, a plan that I think we could use for the future. So thank you, everyone. Thank you.